Good morning. Welcome to JennJiggles. Today is September 4th, 2018. It is 6:30 in the morning, and yeah, it's early. I've got a lot of things to get done today before this afternoon. I have some things going on this afternoon that I will talk about later. Sorry to write that down. How are you? Yesterday was an eventful day for me. Today we'll be talking about meal planning and the importance thereof. I lost a pound yesterday. That way we don't have to have the Back to the Future debacle that we had yesterday. I'll say it out front. I'm really surprised I did because I collapsed yesterday afternoon and ate 6 rich tea biscuits, which are about this big around. And yeah, bad me. Lots of shame. But I didn't beat myself up, and I owned up to it to Ian. So I actually told Ian outright when he came home exactly what I ate yesterday. And this is because I didn't plan my meals yesterday. So we know what happens when Jenny doesn't plan her meals. So we're going to talk about the importance of meal planning today. For me, the importance of meal planning is crucial to my success. I need to know exactly what I'm going to have for breakfast when I go into that kitchen, so that is what I fix, because I am quite good at that. If I say I'm going to have a tuna fish sandwich for lunch, and I'm going to have oatmeal for breakfast, or I'm going to have a poached egg for breakfast, that's what I do. I go in, I make that, and I leave. If I don't know what I'm having, then that's when rich tea biscuits happen, and that isn't good. Isn't good. And I can't even say that I'm proud of my 1 pound weight loss yesterday because, you know, I feel it wasn't, if you know what I mean. So, meal planning for me means stability, continuity, order. And if that sounds like I'm a control freak or OCD-ish, I don't care, because I need that. I've started to watch the first series of this program on Netflix, which is off another network, called Addicted to Food. And it really is an addiction. For me, it's an addiction, you know. And so I'm going to look at that. The first thing I need to do is get myself in order, and that means making an order at Morrison's and getting my go-to foods, and if I'm feeling peckish in the afternoon, and being able to plan my meals the way I was planning my meals. I watched a really good video yesterday by Dwayne Johnson, who was in Jumanji, and he talked about the importance of balancing a diet and how it is important to have your carbohydrates and your proteins and your fats, but you need to balance them out, and how he does it every day. And yeah, and a lot of actors call him and say, how do I get fit for my role and things, and he talked about it. And his routine is very simple. He gets up in the morning, he gets on the treadmill for a while, he goes and he has his breakfast, and then he goes to the gym for an hour, and then he works out again at night and goes for a walk with his family, and that's what he does. That's his entire workout. And the guy is like very muscular. But he spoke to diet, and he spoke about meal planning and how important it is to plan your meals for the day if you're trying to lose weight, to stick to it. And I think he was absolutely right. I also think that something that I took away from the other program about responding versus reacting. So this applies in your relationships with other people as well as your relationship with food. So I will only speak to it in reference to food. So responding versus reacting. So you get that niggle in your brain that says, ooh, have a rich tea biscuit, or whatever your vice is. And And then you decide at that point whether you're going to respond to that nickel in your brain or you're going to react to it. And you can have two reactions, right? One is eat the tea biscuits or don't eat the tea biscuits. And you need to respond to that nickel in your brain. And your response is clearly going to be no, but there is another option. I'm not going to have the rich tea biscuits, but there are other options. There are strawberries, there's watermelon, there's oranges, there's grapefruit, you know. There's just have one rich tea biscuit, not 6 rich tea biscuits. And because it's not, you know, not a deadly sin. You're not going to wreck everything that you did in the day by having 150-calorie biscuit, which is a cookie, by the way. You're not going to ruin everything by doing that. Your day's not going to be blown. If you have 5 of them, 6 of them, yeah, that's a big chunk of your caloric intake and sends your fat way high and your carbs way high. But one isn't going to kill you. So you either have to learn some self-control and say, yes, I can have one rich tea biscuit, or you completely say no and go for another option. So you respond by allowing yourself something and you react by following through with that response. Yeah. So planning meals. Again, knowing what I'm going to have for breakfast, knowing that I'm going downstairs, it's going to be oatmeal or a poached egg or whatever it is I'm going to have. Knowing that my lunch is already in the refrigerator and ready to be put back together, and walking into the kitchen after that. Knowing what dinner's going to be. Now, in this house, it's very difficult to eat dinner before 6 o'clock because Ian doesn't get in until quarter after. So normally we're having dinner about 6:30, quarter to 7. And that's just life. That's what's happening with us. I would never eat a meal without him, and so I have to deal with that. But healthy cooking. Yeah, so I guess pick up a piece of paper and a pen. You don't have to do it for the whole week before. You can do it every morning or for that day, or you can do it at night for the next day. But plan your meals, because that way you're gonna keep yourself straight. You're definitely gonna keep yourself straight. Yeah, so what is going on today? I have lots to do. I have to place my online order with the grocery store to get some of my healthy options back in. I have to clean up my office, which looks like an absolute tip right now. I've got electronics out here. Everything's a mess. I need to spend at least an hour today on knitting and cross stitch. So instead of going by time increments, which is usually what I do, I'm going to have to go by rows for my knitting and colors for my cross stitch. I'm going to be sewing some new things to put into my Etsy shop. Basically, I'm going to be sewing up some coffee mats, so mug mats, mug rugs, whatever they call them in America. They're mug mats here. I'm going to be sewing some of those up with some herbs in, and stuffing them with lavender rice, or cinnamon scented rice, because when the mug heats up the rice inside the mat, it will smell very nice. And then this afternoon, I have shamefully to say that I have a Diablo 3 tournament with my clan. So we're going to be getting down in Old Tristram this afternoon and killing all sorts of evil fodder. So, and that's what I do with my free time. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. I'm still not awake, and I need to finish this here coffee. And, ooh, there's my mug, by the way. And, get on with the things I've got to get on with. So, I hope that you have lots of happiness in your exercise today, and I hope that you stay on track. And if you don't beat yourself up over it. And I hope you stay healthy. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye.